Hey guys, so this is the January 2021 budget review, and let's hop right into the income. Also, my camera is flickering. I don't know why, but if you see that, that's what's going on. As you can see, I'm not working right now, so no paycheck. My referral income, I'm bummed about because I mentioned in my last video that I thought I'd get a $400 referral bonus. And it was actually especially awesome this time because the person hadn't contacted me. And if they don't contact me about it, then I don't have to pay out the associated commission. And unfortunately, um, you know, I didn't get either my part or their share of it because they didn't finish it. They came within like two deliveries, I think, of finishing it. And with Instacart, there's no way for me to communicate with them if they don't reach out to me. And there's no way for me to let them know how many deliveries they have to do in order to complete the bonus. So I couldn't say anything to them to let them know how close they were. Now you will see I did get $20 more in unemployment than I had expected. But I actually should have gotten a lot more in unemployment because some things changed since I made the January 2021 budget with me. So essentially, I should have gotten 290 a week times 4, which essentially is the 1160. But then that extra $300 a week kicked in. So I should have gotten 4 weeks or maybe even 5 weeks, I'm not sure, of the extra $300. Well, this is a complicated story, but essentially what happened is because I originally filed on January 16th of last year when I got laid off at Candid, I was in a year on unemployment, even though I wasn't getting unemployment for a year. It was a year from my file date. So I had to file a new claim, even though I had money left on the old claim. Well, the good news is that increased my weekly amount from 290 to 498. So I should be making more weekly. But the downside of it is because they're treating it as a new claim and they're so backlogged, I haven't gotten any payments since January 20th. And that was 2 weeks of the $300. So I'm essentially missing 3 weeks, I believe, of payment at $498, and then 3 weeks of payment of the extra $300. So there's a whole lot of money I should have gotten that's missing here. So I'm keeping up on that and filing my weekly claims. But from everything that I can see, they were just so backlogged. It really messes with my finances. I wanted to have a separate account for stimulus and a separate account for the extra $300 payments because I don't need those right away. This is going to mess everything up. So whenever that stuff comes in, you guys will see all kinds of crazy transactions of me trying to make this all look right. But the other income here, the $10 here, that's from Achievement, which is a fitness app that I use. You basically, by weighing in and your pedometer on your phone, you earn points. And I get $10 roughly a year. That's the threshold to cash out. So I got that. Apartment liquidation is basically all this stuff that I inherited that was abandoned property in these apartments that I used to manage over the years. I've kept some of the stuff that might be valuable, but some of it has taken a really long time to sell. And that's part of me being here in this place, trying to get my life together, that I'm selling a lot of this stuff off. So I was able to sell a snowboard that I had. It's pretty beat up, but got 40 bucks out of that. And that's a big item that I don't have to deal with anymore. Interest income is approximately $5. And that's just the interest off of my emergency fund and my other savings accounts. And then the selling income is actually all this time from Poshmark. I've been selling some clothes and mostly shoes on Poshmark, which again, some of those, I think in this scenario, all of those are ones that were also things I inherited from move outs of apartments, like used clothing. But I do have some of my new clothing that I just have and have never worn listed on my Poshmark account as well. Then there's the stimulus. That's the $600 stimulus. And then I did get a YouTube sponsorship, although I think this is $37.37. Technically, really, this should not be showing up here. I just forgot to take the YouTube PayPal address off of here because it really shouldn't be connected to my personal finances. But that is what that is. And going down here to car insurance, that's right on. Somehow, amazingly, I was able to save on gas. Um, Gas went up quite a bit this month. It's around $2.40 a gallon here right now, and I think it was like $1.90 something when I made this budget. And with this, I actually made 2 full trips to Columbus as well. So this is much better than I thought it was going to be. So I'd probably be able to take that down a little bit for next month. Parking was right on. Now, electric and natural gas, these are my final bills from my last apartment, the place that I was at in Columbus. And then internet, that is, I swear I had another bill, but their website says I didn't. And I've checked a couple times. So maybe I was paying a month ahead or something. I'm not sure. Student loan payment came out. That was right on. And you guys will also notice I made my fast food and restaurant budget. Amazingly. I don't honestly know how that even happened. So we'll keep these budgets the same next month. But essentially what happened is I blew through the fast food budget fairly quickly, but then realized that I had not hardly spent anything on the restaurant budget. So I just, stopped eating fast food type things, and when I went out, made sure I stayed on the restaurant category. And then you see that I did go over in groceries. So, I'm not sure the solution on that. I have been eating more at home, so that's probably the reason for it. And that's a good thing, but still I'll have to figure out, what exactly happened there, and maybe how I can cut some of those costs a little bit. Then looking at gifts and donations, this $20 here, one of my friends asked me to buy her a pizza. So I cash apped her $20. And the reason for that is, I actually owe her money, not any set amount of money, but just she's helped me out with some stuff and is always like, oh yeah, buy me dinner. So she called in a favor from me, and I sent her $20 so she could order a pizza. So the doctor budget was only $100, or I only spent $100 when I expected it to be $385. And $385 is the estimate that they gave me for the appointment. But what ended up happening here is they charged me a $100 copay, which includes a partial discount because I'm uninsured. And they might all add up to $385 over time. I'm not sure, because they sent me home with some blood work that needs to be done, and I'm sure there's a cost for that, but I don't actually know what that's going to be. And there is a follow-up telehealth visit. So there will be some additional costs, but I don't know what they are. I don't know. It might add up to $385 total, but whatever it is will be probably on next month's budget. And then I didn't have to pay anything for the gym. I took part in the Black Friday special, so I paid for 2 months and got 1 month free. So December, January, and February are paid for. And then didn't have anything on rent because that was actually paid on December 31st, because the banks were closed on the 1st and my landlord didn't want to wait till the 2nd. So I did actually pay those back in December. And then storage, that's right on what it should be. And then I did have a few business expenses, but they were very minuscule things. I had about $1.50 or so in printing. And that was actually for the Poshmark stuff, to ship that stuff out. So, but still business expense, just not a YouTube business expense. And then I did have just a service fee from PayPal. That is what they took out of the sponsorship money that I got. So laundry says $14, and that would be amazing. But I actually did laundry again on the 29th, and I forgot to put it in here. So I've got to go back and do that. And that was $16. So it's actually $30 overall. So still under budget, but it seems like 35 is approximately about the right amount that I'll need for doing laundry once a week. And then clothing. So I did buy a shirt. I bought it's just like a dry fit Nike shirt, and I bought it at Gabe's, which is like a set not secondhand store, but like things that are irregular or have holes in them. There is a place here because basically I needed something that I could wear to the gym to try to get back in and get doing something. Because the shirt that I have is just, honestly, it's kind of too small. So I needed a slightly larger size. So I do have, one shirt. And that was a significant discount on that because they're around like $25 to $30 new. Okay, so you see stuff for mom is $113, and I just had to go back and see what that was because that didn't seem right at all, and it's not. At $65 is stuff for mom. For whatever reason, Mint categorized everything that I spent at Target this month as for mom. So it's several different things. I've got the receipts here. One was a utility tub for $9.19. Which was not actually for mom. It's just like the ones I've been buying her, but this is actually for me to use here in the office. Contact solution and toilet paper. So that's home stuff. And I will go back and recategorize all this, but you guys have already seen this total, so I didn't want to, I didn't want you guys to notice that it like changed. You're like, what's going on? And then some of this is groceries. There are 5 TV dinners, a 20-ounce. I honestly do not know what this is. It's under home for $9, and then something under health and beauty for $1.29. So I'll have to look back in my Target app and see exactly what those items were. But anyway, that's what it is in addition to the $65 that's categorized here. And then we can look into everything else, which for once, it's actually lower than it normally is. This is usually my big category. So service and parts, I did get an oil change this month, and that's usually a pretty big expense for me. And on top of the oil change, I did have to replace a headlight, and those are expensive. So I do it myself to save money, but even still, they're like $25, $30. I did also do some printing. And the majority of this is that I had to print out a bunch of stuff in order to send into my federal loan servicer in order to get my payment reduced to zero. I know we're suspended until September anyway, but it was telling me if I didn't do it soon, my payment was going to go up. So I went ahead and did it. The $23 finance charge is the interest charge on my credit card balance. And the service fee of $2 is between 2 money orders, the service fees for those. I did way go over in snacks, like a lot. And my only defense in that is that I took 2 big trips and I got snacks along the way. But it's also just because I moved here and was getting adjusted. So that calmed down later in the month and should be better next month. So the home stuff, part of that, a small part, is casserole dish that I bought. So I can cook some stuff in the microwave since I don't have a stove top here. And the rest of that, about $70 of it, is some poles for a shelving unit, which probably about half of that was the shipping on it, really. But I needed that in order to set up my closet in here. And then personal care, hair. So I got my hair cut. and that's $35 plus a $5 tip. Personal care is a hair dryer that I had to buy because the one I had that I dug out of the trash back in 2014 just completely stopped working. It'd been limping along for a while, but I did find a deal on one on Poshmark and bought it there. And then the rest of that is toothpaste. Then shopping, that is actually just one item, and it's a white noise machine. My neighbors here are absolutely loud as fuck, which I'm sure that you guys have heard in the background, whether it be dogs barking or people yelling or God knows what. But I'm sure you guys have heard it. And that's why I have that, because sometimes it's just so unbearable that I can't even think. So I did buy that, and I bought it used off eBay. And then the credit card payment, the reason that it shows negative $100, this usually balances out. But I think what happens is it shows it coming out of the account, but it doesn't show the corresponding credit to the credit card yet, because it just got paid today. So the transfer for cash spending is 3 ATM withdrawals, one for $40 and two for $20. And I know that the last two transactions, the ones for $20, were for cash to spend on laundry. And like I said, I ended up spending $35 in laundry, and I still have a few of those quarters left, so that accounts for that. The other $40 for transfer for cash spending is where I pulled money out to pay for parking this month. So that's actually accounted for twice, once when I pulled it out of the ATM, and then the second time in the parking budget. So you see overall, this was still a month that was negative, but it was much better than the month before that. But let's go into the overall numbers and see first where the income came from. All right, so first thing you see here is the breakdown. ODJFS is Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. So that's unemployment and also those extra $300 payments per week, whatever that federal part of it is. So that is 58% of my income. And then the IRS $600 stimulus is 29%. Poshmark, this is selling income, is $164.80. And then 5% is other. And that is $37.37. I should probably figure out a better way to label this. This is from the YouTube sponsorship. And then achievement is that step counting app. And interest paid is from the interest on the savings accounts. So taking a look here at the net worth graph, you can see the assets did go down a little bit. Of course, I missed out on a bunch of money that I was supposed to have coming in. And, debts look about the same, probably a little less. And overall went down just slightly. So let's go down here to the bottom of the screen to the actual numbers. So you can see a decrease in assets by like approximately $900. But keep in mind, I was supposed to get at least $1,500 that I did not get this month. So this actually would have gone positive or been a positive change had I got that. And then you see here that the debts went down. That's a decrease in debt of $142.43. So I think that's pretty decent since I'm only paying the minimums on things. So what Mint is calculating here is a net worth of negative $145,859.98. But there's a few things that don't calculate properly on here. It's actually showing $19.60 more in my checking account than is what is currently in there. So fixing that, my balance of my Robinhood account is 59 cents off. I still have a $150 gift card that I still keep carrying over, haven't used yet. And I do have my crypto wallet, which currently has $64.65 in it. So when we account for all of that, then that changes the actual correct net worth at the end of January to negative $145,664.34. And that is a decrease of $465.29 from last month. But consider that it was $1,500 or more that I didn't receive in income this month that I was supposed to and will eventually down the road when they get caught up. So it is a decrease this month, but only because of that. Otherwise, it actually would have been an increase. So I am getting more of a balanced budget, and next month is going to be even better. So I will get this up for you guys as soon as possible, and then stick around to see the February 2020 budget with me, because that's going to be even better. In that one, we're going to have even fewer expenses. So even closer to a balanced budget, maybe even balanced. We'll see. And I'll see you guys then.